One of you guys wrote back, one of y'all on my email list, wrote back and said they had a problem that they were trying to figure out and asked if I'd help. So here's the problem. They said, Walker, I've had a good couple of years. The last couple of years, I've done better than I expected. I've really, really crushed it. And now it's really hard to go back and kind of get started again because it feels really hard to go back and, do all the hard shit that took me to get there. What do I do? Well, that's an easy answer and a hard solution, right? There are two things that are at work here. Number one, I got the idea that these were probably the best couple of years that you had ever had, right? The last couple, right? Better than you ever expected, better than normal. And so now you're like, oh God, what do I do? Well, as I said, one thing going on is maybe subconsciously you're saying to yourself, I'm good, but I'm not that good. And so without challenging that thought, right? If you don't pick your ass up and get back to work, you're going to go back and over the next 2 or 3 years, average yourself back down to where you were before, income-wise, because you're comfortable there. If you made $400,000 a year in the last 2 years and you're used to making $200,000, here's my guess. Unless you work on that, you're going to have 2 years where you make about $100,000. You're going to bring your average back down to $200,000. It's going to happen, right? Because all of a sudden the stuff that you did 3, 4 years ago to make the last 1 or 2 years happen, right? And now you've been so busy closing deals. And then your ego says to you, hey, you know what? You're good. You're really good. All that work you did in the past, you don't have to do that anymore because you've made it. You can expect to be at this level forever or higher. Sky's the limit for you. That's what your ego says. But your ego is a bitch. And your ego will say, you don't need to work like that. Because see, what your ego wants you to do is go back down where it's comfortable too. So it lies to you about how your world has changed and how you don't have to work like that anymore. Here's the truth. You've got to work like that. Being successful consistently takes work. And I don't give a what level you're at, right? You have to put in the work. It's the blocking and tackling, as people like to say. It's making the calls, making the connections, getting in front of people who can make decisions so you can make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 in the next couple of years. And that will be uncomfortable because maybe deep down inside, you feel like you got lucky and you realize how hard it is to do what you did. Here's the message I want you to take away. Number one, you need to have a very strong why. Maybe you need to go back and reevaluate your goals, reevaluate your vision of where you're trying to go. Create a plan of what do I need to do that again or beat it? What are the kind of clients I need to get, the kind of transactions I need to do? And then get on your horse and ride. Go work. A lot of people that I work with, what they try and do is they have 3 times, they say, if I want to make $100,000, I need to have $300,000 in my pipeline. If I have $300,000 in my pipeline at any given time, it should be a no-brainer for me to make $100,000, right? Want to make $1 million, you need to have $3 million in your pipeline at any given point. Real shit. I'm not talking about made up shit, not talking about hope stuff, but $3 million in real pipeline. That's how you make $1 million, because a lot of it won't work, no matter how sure you are of it, right? But you must visit your goals and figure out why it matters and why going backwards is not cool. It is very uncomfortable getting back to work after you've been riding the wave for a long time, but that's the only way. And we can blame it on the economy. We can blame it on whatever the hell you want to blame, but here's where you need to point the finger, right back at you. There are people, no matter your business and no matter the situation, they're making money doing what you're doing. A lot of money. Some of them are having record years. Even the times that a lot of other people aren't doing really shit. You know why? Because they figured it out. They put in the work. They didn't make excuses. They said, this is what I need to do. So ask yourself, do I really think I'm good enough to do what I did the last couple of years? If you're not sure, ask yourself why, right? And are you willing to do the work? Because you can do that. Put the work in, make the calls, set the meetings with people who can help make decisions that can help you make that kind of money. That's what it takes. Simple advice, hard to do. Want some help, want some accountability? Happy to talk to you about it. 803-917-2817. Walker McKay.